That jungle turned me to a monster. That jungle made me go harder. That jungle turned me to a monster. That jungle made me go harder. That jungle turned me to a monster. That jungle made me go harder. The jungle turned me to a monster. The jungle made me go harder. The jungle turned me to a monster.
The Jungle Show. Welcome back, man. We here with the Jungle Podcast here. Here with my man DMulah, new host. Hope everybody been good. Coronavirus, another, I don't know what month we at.
It feels like 4. Feels like for half a year right now.
Like I said before, all 2020 canceled, my man.
Right, that's how it's looking.
2020 canceled, man. So I just want to say thank y'all for watching and tuning in. Here with my man DMulah right here. Go ahead and introduce yourself, man.
Nice to meet y'all. Great to be here with my brother Jacob. We've been trying to set this up for a while now, but it's good that we finally got to make it happen. Like I said, my man's for forever. He's always been a real one to me. It's my brother in real life, and I got much love for this man right here. He's doing great things. I'm proud of him. So I'm here to support and do whatever he want to do. So we're going to have a great show for y'all today. I'm excited to finally be here, and we're going to get it right.
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. And I appreciate you for coming to the Jungle Podcast. Appreciate you for taking the time, man. And, we've been chilling, man. We all been bored in the house. Ain't had nothing to do with this quarantine shit, man.
All it is working out.
That's it, man. Like getting your work in and shit. Some people not even working out, eating. It's a lot right now. The hours, sleep right now,
yeah, my sleep schedule crazy, so backwards.
We don't even know what day it is sometimes.
Really, every day feel like Friday. I don't know why. Every time I look up, it's a Friday or a weekend. It's crazy. Monday through Thursday, just boom, it's gone.
Yeah, see what I'm saying? And then it's you don't even know what the hours is of the day or anything. You don't know what anything
Time
is.
just lost right now.
It just I don't know, man. So it's getting crazy right now, man. And right now they got stores, they got certain places opening up and things, certain states is opening up. I was in South Carolina not too long ago, and that shit's open. Everything's open. So it's to the point where it's I don't know. What you think about these places reopening right now?
I mean, I know I'm spending a lot of time in Jersey, so up north it's still they taking it so serious. Even coming back home now, and just seeing how everybody the level of what's the word I'm looking for? Urgent, how serious people are taking it. It's just different because up north it's everything's still shut down. Yeah. You can't go in a store without a mask. Everybody's still on that. It's still spreading. So down here it's a lot more people walking around without masks. It's a lot more loose down here.
A lot loose.
So and then down south, you said South Carolina. I can only imagine because the heat down there.
Yeah, man.
It's every state is really looking different. But I just feel I don't know, that second wave. I feel it's bound to happen. So I just hope everybody's taking precaution and preparing for that, man.
No, really, because they even talking about China and things like that. They got a second wave. They locked down again. It's just certain parts that's going crazy, and then even Maryland. Maryland's open.
Yeah, Maryland's opening. Yeah,
Maryland's open.
That's right there. I was gonna say that's right there.
You know what I'm saying?
It's just, every state is just handling it so different, and it's just I don't know. I just hope people everybody just please take precaution, man.
Stay safe out there.
It's not nothing to play with. This definitely has changed the world how we know it, and I don't think our normal will ever be normal again.
You know how I know it's getting crazy? Because even when I watch old videos and see people hug and dap and stuff, I'm just damn.
I'm telling
this shit look different right now. Because you really can't do that to everybody.
Elbows, fist bumps, I'm telling
you.
What's
going on, bro?
Or just give them the nod,
what's up, bro?
From a distance.
That's it. So it's the fact that even watching old videos of people hug dapping and all that, like shit about to be different. Look at football games. Like, you think sports will be the same?
I mean, I know sports will always make its comeback just because
like being there. Like, as far as
that's the thing, as far as crowds gathering, we might not even see
like
crowds.
a lot of things will change. Yeah, like Black Friday. You think that shit, like a lot of shit's gonna change.
Here's the thing though, there's always those people. You know how people be. People are gonna do what they want to do.
They know what they do.
And cause then that's another thing. Like other countries, you see how other countries handle it, and it's just like we get to the United States, people just do what they want.
Yeah.
They don't listen. So
That's
it's like
true.
when it's that many people and just doing what they want, it's like you can't really help it. Like something bad might happen. Like it's just the reality of it.
It is. It's the reality. It's sad, and it's like. For real, like, when they open that shit, they open outside, bro, I'm waiting 2 to 3 weeks.
I'm with you on that. At least.
Whoever gets fucked up, you get fucked up.
At least, it's gonna be at least
Messed
2 weeks. Like, I'm gonna let everybody have it. Y'all can have it.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be cooling. But definitely, like, and it's just like Trump. I feel like Trump's kind of made it to the point where it's just like, you know, if they die, they die. Like, they trying to get the country. He's trying to get the country back up. So it's like, if that's what it's gonna take, then. Like I said, y'all can have it. I'm gonna make sure my people stay safe and keep myself safe.
I feel like that man really petty too, man. The fact of the Obama
unveiling of, yeah, that's just
he wasn't trying to unveil it. Bro. It's a tradition, and you out here acting like,
I don't understand.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
I don't understand it, bro.
That shit is funny.
He's different. He's definitely a different character, bro. It's completely different from what we're used to seeing in the presidential office, bro.
Yeah.
So it's like. He makes us look bad as a country. I'll tell you that. Just for me being overseas and just hearing how they talk about us, it's just like I can definitely tell you, like, people look at us and they laugh. Like they really kind of laugh at us because of the situation we're in.
It really is funny. And you just talked about being overseas. Let the audience know about that. Like, how was it? First of all, let them know, why were you overseas in the first place?
You know, I play in the GFL, German Football League, professional league over in Europe. Mm-hmm. So it was great being over there. Definitely got to experience some new places, travel a little bit, meet new people, see how different cultures, just all that. It was just amazing. And, you know, on top of that, I'm playing ball, just doing what I love to do, continuing that journey for myself. So it was great, and I loved it. Definitely, I don't know if I'm gonna have my season this year, but we'll see. They're still trying to figure out how that will work, because like I said, sports is like you need the crowd a little bit.
That's a fact.
But especially over there, you know. So we'll see where that goes. But hopefully, I know they're doing way better over there than we're doing over here. So
yeah.
It's looking better over there than it is over here.
Now, how was that experience out there? Because I know obviously here everything is such different. Like, you know, things here. I mean. Bro. It's America.
Yeah.
So it's like, I feel like a lot of us don't realize what America is until we go to different places and they see.
I promise you, bro, like that's really the truth. Like you see, it's like two different worlds. Like I literally describe it as two different worlds because we do things so differently over here.
Yeah.
And in Germany where I was at, it's just so structured. Like the government just has, like the people listen, they follow the rules. Like everybody's they're so. The word I'm looking for is organized, and they're very set in like their rules. Like they follow their rules, they follow policies, like all that, and the people don't stray away from that. They stick really close to that, like
to the policy.
Yes, sir.
So it's like they more obedient to what gotta go.
And I'll say that it helps society. Their society runs very smooth because of that. Okay. And so just the difference between there and here is. Like I said, two different worlds, but it's definitely something. Being over there it wasn't hard at all. Like, yeah, it wasn't hard at all.
I know it was real interesting. And you know the funny thing, I remember when we first linked up, right when you first came back from Cookout. I remember you was looking out the windows like, whoa, like
bro,
different.
I haven't. It's like I'm telling you, Europe and here, just it's lovely over there, and like both have their great things about them. Yeah, but. Definitely just so you can't even compare them. Yeah. You can't even compare them.
I bet. And I say, like, if you haven't traveled or anything, I haven't like that. Get your passport.
Definitely get your passport.
Do some things, man. Get out of here. You get out of here.
You'll view things. Your perspective on things will change so much.
You know, of course, after this virus is over, because right now you can't go anywhere.
Yeah, definitely. Don't be traveling now. Don't be traveling now.
So. I mean,
definitely
that
now's not the time.
No. So I understand that. So now, I know you saw the Jordan documentary.
Yeah, it had to. I definitely saw that.
I know you saw that and saw the greatness in that. How that went.
I would say they did a great job. That was a great insight to Jordan's legacy and his journey. I loved it from beginning to end. Like I was hooked. Sundays at 9, bro. It was just like, don't hit me, don't talk to me. Like I'm locked in. Like get something good to eat. Just watch that.
You know what I liked about that right there? I like the outside, like the locker room, to show that niggas still be niggas. You see Jordan
at the end of the day,
like, cause the thing about Michael Jordan growing up, it was like the greatness. You heard about the greatness and how he was, but they made it seem like he didn't make mistakes, or he was like, he was such a perfect example, But then they showed him in the locker room just clowning people, man. Talking to, like, it showed the real human in Michael Jordan. He's a regular dude, like,
and that's what you love to see.
You know what I'm saying? Because the way that sometimes they paint Michael Jordan, like, you can't, like, he's like,
he's up here. I mean, they called him Black Jesus.
Jesus.
That says everything.
That's a high name. So exactly. So to see how he act and everything like that he does, and how he, like, just seeing just him off and on the court and the things he had to go through.
Right. He went through a lot. Like, he definitely had his trials. And I'm not saying, I like how they showed his trials and his tribulations, as long as we all know the greatness. I was about to say, we all know what Michael Jordan does. He has 6 rings. That kind of speaks for itself. So we can't really say much on that. But definitely, it's just good to see a different side of him. Yeah. And especially for our generation, because we were kind of born right after. Well, I know I was born in '96, so he had a couple more rings after that. But just to see, we were young then, so it's like now we're older, we get to understand things a little bit more, and just see things for what it was.
Funny thing, even older players like Tracy McGrady was like, he wish that documentary would have came out when he was playing, because I feel like it gave a lot of people like that encouragement, especially if you're an athlete, to really know what greatness is. Like being hurt and being injured and still playing through it, not complaining or crying about it. Like, this man lost his father, and won a chip still. And it's like the greatness, like
on Father's Day too.
On Father's Day, you know what I'm saying? And the things, the whole gambling thing, cause they tried to break him down.
They did.
Like, that's
a lot of pressure. How big he is, like the media. I just feel like when you're at that level, bro, the media, they're gonna take anything and run with it, and that's hard for a lot of people to handle. Bro. Yeah. But I'd say, like, he was in the spotlight for so long and he handled it as best as he could. So it's like,
and it's like, even in one part in the documentary, he was like, you guys wish you could be Michael Jordan. Like, I want to see how you would do with a week of this or a year of this. Like, a lot of people can't handle that attention.
No, but I'm telling you.
Everywhere you go is cameras in your face. It's like you can't go down the street to the store.
And that's why he said, like, he spent most of his time in the room just smoking cigars, bro. Because as soon as he walked out that door, like, he had to be on
his thing. Like, you can't be yourself. Like, you feel me? Like, you can't be with you can be with your homeboys, but they gotta be really, like, secluded in the
and I just feel like that makes the people you do have, it just brings you that much closer to them. Like, your inner circle, they just mean that much more to you when you're living like that.
Imagine Michael Jordan being around during the time of social media.
I'm telling you, I don't know, bro. I don't know.
A lot of them athletes, like musicians, all them back then, have social media then. Because there's a lot of wild stories I've heard.
Bro. And I feel like it was easier back then, but now there's so much, like, you gotta see it in your face, like you said, it's in your face every day. Like, no matter how much you try to avoid it, you're gonna see it, like, one way or another.
Most definitely.
And that, for a person, like, that, sometimes that's a lot. A lot of people can handle it.
It's just a lot of pressure, your personal life, your family life, everything.
It's all out there.
Scandals, like, you know what I'm saying? So,
exactly. Like, just imagine the gambling thing was hard for him back then, but just imagine it now. Like, it would be a lot. It would be a lot.
The memes?
he already gave us a good.
He got
a couple good ones for us.
The memes, bro. Shit.
They would have went crazy on him, bro.
I bet you won't stop gambling. I saw a meme like that. I bet you Michael Jordan was like, I bet, how much you want to bet I'll stop gambling?
Hey, but one thing I do admire about him that I can relate to the most is just that competitiveness, bro.
Oh yeah.
Like I'm just that person, bro. Like I losing, it burns a pit in my stomach, bro. Like I just hate it, bro. So that I would say, one thing I will say, I would have loved to be a teammate. Like have him as a teammate, because I just know
he gonna push
he got that dog. Like there's certain people have that dog in them, bro. And it's either you're born with it or you're not.
And then the thing about being around him or being a teammate, you can't be no bitch. You can't be
weak. Bro, not at all. He gonna get that out of you, bro.
They did say he was bullying his teammates like Horace Grant. You saw the thing with Horace Grant getting upset about that whole little MJ thing.
Because MJ called him a snitch.
Yeah, he called him a snitch basically. And Horace was like, "Hey man, look, it's been 30 years and you still want to handle it. We can't handle it." I'm like, "Oh shit, alright, well, you know." So it goes back. It stems back to that, because you know what I liked about the competition with MJ, like. People may call it petty, but you remember, bro. Like, if you disrespected him or tried to like dethrone him or try to play with him,
he could take anything
as motivation and make him play.
Fire,
like that's the sense of bar of the difference right there. Like the fact of he talked about one dude, the dude from the Utah Jazz, when he retired from baseball. He was like, "Damn man, you retired." It's good that you did. I forgot his name, but he was like, "It's good that you did, because I would have D'd you up or locked you up." He remembered that, and you saw what he
gave
did.
Gave him cups.
Game
winner on him.
You know what I'm saying?
Game
6, and he never went to a Game 7. So, all of that to say, it showed his greatness. Now, the thing about this MJ documentary is now is the debate.
Yes, sir.
It's the debate with MJ and Bron. So, right now, bro, I mean, it's a tough debate, but I'm gonna say it like this, cause I seen this on the gram. I seen this on the gram.
Okay, let me hear your part on this.
If you go to a female's house 6 times,
I heard this one,
and you get it 6 times, 6 straight times, and you go 9 times, you only get it 3. Who's the champ? Now listen. I'm a Celtics fan. Everybody that knows me know I'm a deep Celtics fan. So, LeBron, it's always gonna be that. I love LeBron. LeBron fans, y'all do a lot. But no doubt that LeBron is great. He is great. All around player, nobody's playing him with the passing, everything. Yeah, but it's hard to say that he's better than MJ. It's hard. It's hard. Stat wise, okay. Think about Bron. Stat wise, he get it. But Bron played right out of high school. He was 18. You know what I'm saying? He was in the league longer. He had the talent to go straight out of high school. That's cool. That's granted. Everything. But to go to the finals, bro. Think about it. You retired. You play sports. Let's say you took 2 years off and still won the chip against people who was playing that whole time when you was off.
That's true.
You took a break. You took a break and you still won 3 on them. You know how many Hall of Famers ain't win a ring because MJ was in the league those 90s?
Definitely. There's a lot of great players who didn't get a ring.
That didn't get a ring.
But what I would say to that is, one, we gotta acknowledge the fact that MJ never made it out the first round without Scottie.
He didn't.
And then what I say, when he left, his team still won 50 plus games.
50 plus games when
they weren't. I feel like that's the one thing that really separates those two. Is I always say the Bulls brought a team to MJ and he took it and ran with it. Mm-hmm. LeBron never really, his first 7 years were kind of wasted because they never really brought him any type of help to really help push him over that top. And I hear a lot of people say Larry Hughes. Larry Hughes was solid at that time.
Larry Hughes was a bucket, but he wasn't.
I think he was averaging 18 or 20 in the league at that time. Or Mo Williams. And Mo Williams was,
Mo was
Mo that's why I'm
he
like, all
wasn't
right.
big, but Mo was alright.
You know, when people say Mo, I'm like, all right, bro. But I'll take it. But like, come on.
One thing I do give Rondo was that finals. Went to the finals the first time. He didn't have nobody.
Bro, he literally
didn't have.
And that
anybody.
team, that Pistons team, he had to get through.
Was tough.
That was
They
4
had
All-Stars
just
and
won.
a defensive MVP the last 4 out of 5 years with Ben Wallace.
Yeah.
So, and I think the year
tough.
before that, he took them, I think he might have took them 7, and he lost. Came back the next year, closing game. I watched him score 25 in a row, bruh. I remember watching that game.
Young days with the Sprite commercials. No, he was a different Braun.
Closed them out.
He was a different Braun.
And that was a team of all. That was a Fab Five back then.
And that's true. That's one thing I would agree, because the thing with Jordan is they made a team around him. With Braun, they didn't. But they both took 7 years before they both won the ring.
Exactly.
But the thing with Braun though, he had to team up with a
lot of people are gonna say that, bro.
That's the only thing.
But look,
he had to team up because look, Michael had just Scotty, but for Braun to win his, he had 2. He had B Wade and Chris Bosh.
but here's the thing, Scotty. I feel like a lot of people don't really recognize how good Scotty was.
Scotty was good.
He was that two-way tall, lanky player. He could still score. He could lock up your best player
from 1 to 5.
He could guard from 1 to 5. And that's not saying that Jordan was a great defender. I'm never gonna. Here's the thing, I respect Michael Jordan, I respect Kobe, I respect Braun. Braun's my GOAT, personally. I'll put that on the camera.
Yeah,
but I respect Jordan to the utmost, I respect Kobe to the utmost. I hate comparing them, but it's just the time. Like, that's just how people are.
It's just what it is. It's just what it is. And the thing about, even with Kobe, like, they don't give Kobe his dues, bro.
People made a list, they had Kobe at like 9. And I don't know about y'all, but I can't respect any list where Kobe's not at least top 4, bro. No. And with me, he's always top 3. And that's undebatable.
And even me as a Celtics fan, having to face Kobe, like, all I can think about is that 2010.
You got a couple chips on it. You got a chip on you, man.
Star ass. But hey, my man Kendrick Perkins was out. I always say that. If KP was in, we had an old ass Rasheed Wallace. That nigga was down and out. He was like. That was his last season.
He was definitely on his back.
That was his last year as a starting center. You see Pau Gasol going crazy on Rasheed, and Pau was on his prime at that time.
Yeah, Pau was.
So I mean, we can't go back to the past. But if my man KP was in, that would have been a different story on that Game 7. Definitely. But just to say though, man, Kobe, like, I give Kobe his dues but the only thing they do like to say with Kobe though is they try to say because he stole MJ's game that he was an original, but still, like,
I would never knock that.
Kobe was a
killer.
Dog, a killer, scored 81 points in a game. You will try to score 81 points in a game and see how hard that shit is.
We haven't seen it since.
We haven't seen that shit. The closest we've seen is Devin Booker.
How about D-Book?
That's it. What he scored, 72?
Something like that.
Well, see, something like that.
Something like that. It was
something
up
like
there.
that.
Definitely up there. I forgot the exact number. But
he scored something like he was the closest, but to score 81 points, and then when he won that 2010, when he won those 2 finals, he really did it. I mean, he did it by himself. Like, he had Ron Artest, Pau Gasol,
he had a great team.
Shannon Brown, Trevor Ariza. Trevor Ariza, now people forget he was defensively.
That's when he was coming alive.
He was strapped. Andrew Bynum was
a force.
Yeah,
Andrew Bynum
he was a force. But I feel like without Kobe being in it, it wouldn't.
Never. That's nothing.
Because the thing about Kobe and MJ, what they did, they pushed their teammates to the max. Like, Bron does too. Bron definitely does too. The difference with Bron though, he's a pass first. He definitely, like, if you open, he gonna give you that.
And I always say,
give you that.
People give Bron a lot of discredit because he always makes the right basketball play, and that might not necessarily be him taking the shot.
Yeah.
But
team first.
It's not like, and I dare anybody to argue with. Don't act like LeBron is not clutch or he can't hit a shot in the finals, because we've seen it over and over again. You can check the stats on that. That's there for you.
Yeah.
You can turn on the film.
Remember that Magic's game?
Definitely. I was gonna say I was watching that
he
live.
Made that shot.
I remember that.
Like, Bron has had his game when it's dope.
And really think about just the last couple times we've seen him in the playoffs, and or just look at closeout games. Like, you have a game on the line, one game, season's over, or you go to the next round, Game 7. Bron I think he averages like a triple double, bro. Like he's a monster.
Nah, he go crazy.
When it matters, he's there. Like, and the one thing people do knock on him that I will not excuse from him is that 2011 finals with the Mavs because he just didn't show up.
No, he didn't.
And that's one thing people.
But it was tough on Braun because he had to play the villain that year. That year, everybody
I think it was different for him.
Hating on
I
that
think it
man.
was real different for him.
And he was really that was the same thing when he was like, y'all gotta live your lives. I go home to this and that. Y'all gotta go to work the next morning. That nigga was bitter. He was bitter.
He was getting a lot of heat that year.
Alright, yo.
But I just don't understand why. I just don't understand why they make it seem like he was the first one to really team up with people when Boston. You guys had made that big three for that reason to stop who? It was to stop that man.
I mean, it was really to get. I mean, yeah.
It was to stop that man.
But the year before, we didn't even make the playoffs.
That's
They didn't
true.
make the playoffs.
That's true.
And I feel like Danny Ainge just really made that good, executive order. But it was more so to get. It wasn't just to stop Braun though. But Braun was running it at the East. Yeah, he was.
Bruh.
He was. But Braun, I'm gonna tell you though. Just like Jordan had the Pistons to make him better, Braun had us to get him better.
He definitely. I feel like y'all definitely.
We used to beat that man down. I don't give a damn, bro. Yeah, he dunked on KG. Yeah, sometimes he was giving us work, but shit, we had to put that man down. You saw when he beat us when he was with the Heat how emotional he was.
He
was emotional.
That was the team he was trying to get past,
was emotional because even the last time he was with the Cleveland, the first time he took off that jersey after we beat him.
I knew it was rap.
And he was sick. He was like, fuck this shit. You know what I'm saying?
I remember that game.
And it's like, I'll give the Braun because I remember that game 6. I think it was 2012 when we was up 3-2. We was up 3-2. We was about to close it off.
That was the first time we seen him. That was the first time we really.
Yeah, like
that was the first time we really seen that.
Triple double. Like he was going crazy. I was hurt, man. I just told this family like, yo, we just not gonna go back to the finals. Like after 20.
Bro, but what do you think about your boy Paul Pierce leaving him out of his top 5, bro?
I think Paul being better, bro. Paul being better.
He's a certified hater, bro.
Because I ain't gonna lie. I'm like, okay, Paul, like the truth, I ain't gonna lie. And everybody that's kind of Paul Pierce, alright, he's stupid. Don't get fucked up, bro. Paul Pierce was a bucket. He was a bucket. Alright, ask Ron Artest. Ask Ron Artest.
That's true though.
He did. Yeah. Ron Artest knows what's up with Paul Pierce. But the thing about Paul, like, he bitter though. He bitter off that shit, bro. Because the thing y'all gotta understand for those people that wasn't watching basketball at that time, the Celtics and Braun,
they didn't mix, bro.
That was a clash right there, yo. That was a clash, and that right there had to happen, like, you know. And look, don't get it fucked up. P shot some shit on Braun too. That one game when he shot that 3 against him with the Heat in his mouth. But at the same time, truth, you gotta stop being petty, my man. You a grown ass man. We gotta respect greatness. I know. I don't like Braun as much as you because I'm a Celtics fan, but I can't take him out of the top.
That was so disrespectful,
you know what I'm saying?
Bro.
And I feel like they got beat because even when Paul Pierce had that retirement, his jersey retirement,
Braun came
crazy.
They beat him by like 30.
Like for some reason that whole season they were doing bad, but that game they taught it like it was the finals. Like you could see how happy Braun was on the sideline doing that.
Paul Pierce over there.
So, like I was just like, yo, all right, but
he had
Paul, like. He had to get that going. Like he gotta relax, man, because you can't take Braun on the top 5. Any person that knows basketball knows that Braun.
That don't even make damn sense,
top
bro.
5 of all time. I feel like Braun has the best basketball IQ. It would be between him and Magic, but Braun up there. Because, you know, with this quarantine, bro, I've been really watching old basketball games from the 80s and shit. I'm watching.
They playing a lot of replays from back then.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? I was watching the Magics. I was watching the Lakers versus the 76ers. Charles Barkley versus Magic Johnson. It was real back then, bro. Yes. The passes they was doing, like, it wasn't more regular passes.
Magic was definitely different.
It was like
another Magic
behind the back, all this, all that. Like they were flashy back then.
For sure.
Like Charles Barkley, a lot of people give Charles Barkley
was a dog.
Charles was a dog.
And I don't know how people even say Draymond could hang with him, bro.
Fuck no.
Charles would give him work.
Hell no, because Charles was a dog. He gonna get rebounds. He shoot.
He was going crazy,
run the
bro.
floor. He like, what was he like 6'8", 260 or something like that? He was a
He
big.
was a force, bro.
He was a big solid
People were
dude.
making anybody who knows basketball. You can't compare Charles Barkley.
Yeah,
You can't compare
hell
Draymond Green
no.
to Charles
Cause
Barkley, bro.
if Draymond Green, you see Draymond Green got an MVP. Charles Barkley got an MVP in the
He
league.
don't got a ring.
He don't got a ring.
Because of that man.
What we just said.
Because of that man.
Jordan really shut a lot of legends down from having a ring.
lot, bro.
Look at Patrick Ewing.
A great basketball, but one of the great centers, bro. Don't got a
Patrick
ring.
Ewing ain't got nothing, yo.
Nothing, bro.
He ain't got nothing. Like, the list goes on. John Stockton, Karl Malone. Hey, yo, you know what's funny? Talk about black people don't really respect Karl Malone. Like, you never see people talk about Karl Malone. Like,
I don't understand why
You know what I'm saying?
Karl Malone was the real deal too.
but like, he was a janky dude, though, bro. He tried to go smack at Kobe White at the time.
I remember hearing about that back then, bro.
like,
It was I
That's
definitely
a
remember
dirty
hearing about that.
motherfucker. You over here trying to take your teammate's girl.
That's wild.
Whoa, all right. Like,
Yeah, that was.
that's
I definitely remember hearing about
Like,
that.
so
I always bring it back. I always bring back to this, bro. When I say when the question is, or I just saw Magic quote this. He said, when you're looking for the best all-around basketball player, it's LeBron James. When you say greatest ever, he says Michael Jordan. And you know, I'm always gonna agree to disagree. Braun is my GOAT. That's just who I grew up watching.
course.
Like, and the
You
older
know,
generation,
1,000
just like the older generation, they stuck in their ways when it comes to Jordan, as they should. Because like I said, 6 rings, 2 3-peats. That's not. We might never see that again. So it's like,
we not. You got old heads that probably be at the park. They be like, oh, Will Chamberlain or Bill Russell or Kareem Abdul-Jabbar.
thing, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So it's like everybody's era is definitely different. That's
For
why
sure.
Jordan said he not even gonna take that like title of being the GOAT.
The GOAT,
because of
yeah,
the
he don't
era.
want it.
He didn't play with every era. You
That's
got
true.
Jerry West. You got Elgin Baylor.
Yeah, I'm saying,
like, you got people
the ones that
from
came
back
before.
in
He
the
respects the ones that
day.
came before him.
You know what I'm saying?
And I think
Bro,
LeBron has a lot
Washington.
of that same respect for Michael because you don't really see him coming crazy at him or nothing.
Oh, no.
I just find it fun. The funny part is that Jordan gave the green for the documentary after Braun won that ring in 2016. So people were saying maybe he kind of felt that pressure, like, oh, he might be catching me or catching up in the,
I
in
mean,
the
bro,
debate.
beat a 73 or 19.
Bro, five All-Stars.
You know what I'm saying?
It took 5
and-
All-Stars, bro, and he still got one. Down
He
3-1, bro.
He did. And then even like, 2 years ago, that game 1, he had like 50 something. It was for JR's dumb
Fucked it up,
ass.
bro.
You know how that would have went. But
J.R.
man,
Smith, bro. But J.R. had his good moments too.
he had his good moments. Watch JR with the Nuggets back in the day. That boy was a bucket. Always throwing them bees up
Yeah,
and
young
shit.
J.R.
You already
was
know.
definitely he was
That's that Jersey
he was
shit.
lit. Yeah, definitely. A lot of that.
That Jersey
They
shit,
rep
man.
Jersey. They don't play about Jersey, bro.
Nah, they
They
don't.
rep that to the
Even
fullest.
Kyrie, like, he on that
Bro, they
same
rep that
shit.
to the fullest.
Speaking of the tri-state area, man, let's talk about this 6ix9ine shit, bro. This shit has been crazy. It's really crazy how people, my thing about the whole take about the 6ix9ine thing is I feel like we're giving it too much attention. We got people like academics
I'm with you on
that's
that, bro.
always reporting this shit every
with you on that.
24/7 about what's going on with him and shit. And it's just like, shut up. Like, if y'all don't give it attention, he will bury.
Yeah,
like,
that's what I'm
that's
saying,
it.
bro. It's like I've never even had one of his songs downloaded on my phone. Never listened to one of his songs, bro. It's just like I never really gave him that attention, bro. But he, I understand some people get it how they live, bro. So it's like if that's what he do to stay relevant, that's what he do, bro. But it just it won't be for me.
No,
it just won't be for me,
no.
bro.
He was definitely trolling.
There's a lot of it, bro.
He got my man Snoop.
He
I
got
said,
Snoop
damn,
wild up, bro.
Snoop, why
Snoop
you talking?
I want to say Snoop the chillest, bro. He don't do
all
nothing.
these legends, and you got this little nigga fucking with you,
bro, just
Excuse
poking
my
in his
language,
ear,
you two.
bro.
But that's what I'm saying. Like, you done been with Pac, you done been with Big, you done been with all the legends, bro. And you got this little dude really letting you go crazy. You a grown ass man. You a grandfather.
I'm gonna say
Why are you
know what
giving
I'm
it
saying?
attention?
That's the thing. I feel like he just gets the people, and
You know?
he just gets them to come down to his level,
And
bro.
it really, for real, and like he really, the fact that everybody like, and it's like the thing about it though, bro. the music initially didn't change. You know, the early 2000s with the baggy shirts, the baggy chains, all that. You know, that gangster persona in the hip hop world, that shit is out the door. Like, you got these little kids that would definitely still buy 6ix9ine music, still look at him like a hero. I saw one on the comments because I was bored. You know, quarantine, you just do shit like fucking.
How about you just
I was looking at his comments, and then they got like, you got like these little kids like, oh well, you stench, but he's still my goat. He's still this and that, and it's just
go
like,
to what?
The way I grew up with the Dipset and the 50 Cent,
like they just giving anybody.
You know what I'm
they
saying?
Just throwing that word out there.
You know, we grew up in an era where rappers got shot 9 times and was really living what they was talking about. You know what I'm saying?
Bro,
you got
the music has substance, bro. It was
you know what I'm saying?
Behind it, bro.
That's what I'm saying. You got artists stabbing people in the club. You know, like you really had to be about what you talking about. 6ix9ine is a joke because the thing about him, right? Like, okay, people like to say those people did dirty to him. They did him dirty. They fucked his baby mother. They did all this, that.
They definitely did a lot.
I understand that, all right?
Get it.
But he put people in jail that had no contact with him. You know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
He told, like, why put Cardi under the bus? Why put Jim Jones under the bus? Why do all that for people who had nothing to do with anything? You know what I'm saying?
And along with that, bro, people just act like he wasn't doing nothing. Like, I'm pretty sure he was the one.
He put a hit on Chief Keef.
They shot at him. They shot at him. I mean, they didn't come nowhere close to him, but
But like, what if they would have made
he went to O Block. He went up there. He
went there at night. But he was a troll.
Exactly.
He had people all over different cities, LA, Texas. Like, you know what I'm saying? Jay Prince. It's just like he did a lot, and now like he's crying wolf. You know, like
that's kind of how I feel. It's like you knew what you signed up for. 2, it's like, come on, bro. Like you was making your moves too.
Exactly.
So and another thing about him that I cannot fuck with. Like I will never fuck with. Just the allegations of the pedophilia. I don't know. I'm not 100% sure that was true, but just even hearing about that, like, I got 2 little sisters, bro. Like, that shit is dub for me. Like, never.
She was like 14.
Never, bro. I'm saying just from me having children, he was automatically canceled.
It's a dub. It's a dub. So it's like.
So after that, it was just he never got my attention, bro.
Yeah, bro. Like. That's what I'm saying. Like, a lot of people glorify, and even the fact that we talking about it is just because that's what's going on right now.
That's the topics right now,
It's
bro.
the topics that's going on. But I feel like the way to shut this rat up is to trap him with silence. Don't say nothing.
And that's all it is, bro. If people just didn't give him the attention, bro,
the sales and all that shit,
he
all
wouldn't
the
be
funny
relevant.
shit, they be on Instagram. But you know, right now it's the perfect time because it's quarantine. Nobody got shit to do.
Nobody's doing nothing.
So he's gonna make the videos that's gonna like, oh shit, 6ix9ine is doing this.
You saw how Tory turned.
Yeah,
Tory turned quarantine. He was running it up. Got his own little deal and everything.
My man,
like,
Boosie too. Boosie had it going live too.
Boosie is hilarious.
Boosie, bro. Fendi, Fab's manager, he had it popping too. Like you know what I'm saying? Like different people had it popping, but.
And him coming home at this time, like you said, it was just perfect time for him.
Perfect time.
You know, he came back and broke like the record.
Did a video, had 2 million on live.
All right. It was expected. I mean, that's what's expected. They want to hear what he got to say. Like,
but look, one of the things Jay-Z said, and I don't want to misquote it. I probably might misquote it, but he said, "Being considered a snitch or a rat is a lifetime sentence, just minus the bars."
Yeah, because that's your label,
that's your
bro.
name forever,
bro. That's your label.
If you're known as somebody that's
your label, bro.
For the rest of your life, man.
They not messing with you, bro.
That's going crazy. Now I want to touch on this one little. It's a local thing, DMV thing. You probably ain't see it. It's a rapper, Ant Glizzy, Shy Glizzy. They was going at it.
Ant Glizzy and Shy Glizzy?
Yeah. I know about Ant
Glizzy.
Yeah.
I haven't heard about the situation though.
So I'll get you hip. So basically, long story short, if you ain't seen it, it was really entertaining. So basically, Ant Glizzy used to be with Shy Glizzy back in the day. They was in the Glizzy gang. And a situation happened where, long story short, Ant Glizzy's from a different hood, Shy Glizzy's from a different hood. Somebody from Shy Glizzy's hood robbed or did something to somebody in Ant Glizzy's hood, and Ant Glizzy chose his hood over Shy Glizzy, so they broke apart. So recently, they was on live doing like things like Ant Glizzy was talking about like they had beef because people was asking. First, it started with people asking Shy Glizzy about Ant. And Ant was like, Shy Glizzy was like, yo, he could suck my dick, woo woo woo, talking shit, this and that. His mother, his brother, all this. Supposedly his brother is a snitch, all this stuff. But Ant basically went back and talked about it, about Shy exposing him about his real life and everything like that.
For real?
Yeah, like
Yo,
exposing him. It's on live. No. You've been gone, so I know. I gotta put you on, and people probably already know about it.
Sheesh.
So like basically, long story short, they were feuding for a little bit. A few people was getting into it, talking to Ant. So the other day, like the day before yesterday, Ant was on live, and Shy got on his live, was like, where you at? Because Shy lives in Cali, but he came out to DC, Mother's Day, whatever it may be. So Shy basically pulled up to the quarters where Ant was at. That's a project in DC, and Ant was nowhere to be found. So everybody was watching it, and then Shy left, and then supposedly Ant came back and was like, where you at?
After the
fact. So it got real big. So, that's the local thing right there. So it got pretty big with that. So it's pretty much dead and done now, because once Shy pulled up and he wasn't dead,
I mean, you know how people going,
people move on. It's done. Like it was entertaining the past couple weeks. I was watching it. It was fun, but it's over with now, man. So, I just wanted to say that for people, the local DMV area, for people who was watching. Like,
definitely need a new Glizzy tape, though.
Yeah, definitely. That Lonely Vibes was hitting.
Yes, for sure.
That Lonely Vibes definitely hitting. Yeah, Glizzy, definitely need that. Like, that shit.
We need that
shit going there. He definitely working on some shit. We need that shit. So, fuck with Ant too. I respect Ant. Ant a funny dude on the live and shit. Respect him too and shit like that. But that was pretty much went on and stuff like that. Another thing I want to touch on. Other day was Malcolm X Day, and they don't really talk too much about Malcolm X.
Not a lot.
But, thing about, I feel like with Malcolm X, man, he wasn't like Martin Luther King. Like, Martin Luther King was peace, bringing everybody together.
He very well with his words, bro.
Well, a pastor, religious, with being Christian and all that. So they gave him a dig. Malcolm X.
He was a different dude.
Malcolm X.
That was a different dude.
Malik Al-Shabazz. Whoa.
Different dude.
That was a militant right there, man. First off, he was a black Muslim. He was outspoken. You know what I'm saying?
In that time.
By any means necessary. If you didn't see the Netflix documentary that just came out about his killing, definitely check that out for all those, like...
I didn't know Netflix. I'm definitely going to watch that.
Yeah, watch that, bro. It definitely was
sure.
very intriguing about how everything went. But, man, Malcolm X, I feel like we don't give him as much respect. And the CIA, FBI, like, they killed him. Like,
it happens all the time, bro. It happens all the time,
and they got proof about it on the documentary on the Netflix thing, you know what I'm saying? So... it's real crazy that we don't really like that. It's not enough celebration with Malcolm X,
I definitely feel the
with
same.
things going on. Yeah. That kid that got killed in Georgia,
Ahmaud Arbery, yeah.
You know what I'm saying? The fact
things like that.
Literally. My man going on a job, running. I guess he ran to a construction site or something like that, and two white men went and chased him
down,
shot him. You know what I'm saying? Live on camera.
And the thing that really bothers me about the whole thing going on, bro, is that whenever a black person gets killed, it's always try to dig up what we can about him, what he did wrong. They're like, I saw yesterday talking about he had a shoplifting video from Walmart from 2017, bro. Like, what does that have to do with him getting murdered in broad daylight after going on a jog? And then on top of that, they try to pull out, he was trespassing in this property. The owner of the property said he wasn't trespassing. There was no trespass signs. And on top of that, many people had been coming in, and it comes out, his lawyer comes out yesterday, makes a video, says he was into electrician. He was an aspiring electrician. So he was in the house, but he said when you look at the video, he's watching the wiring of the house, like looking at the architecture, trying to see what's going on. So for them to try to sit there and say, he was breaking in, and there was they try to say there was a recent chain of break-ins that were never found to be true, and that was proven false. So it's like the privilege of it's just ridiculous, bro. And it's so sad that we get done like this over and over and over again, and nothing happens.
And I'm gonna tell you this, man. I went to school for this, like journalism and stuff like that. Let me tell you what the media likes to do. I'm gonna break it down for everybody that's watching. You know,
I know.
It get real.
They need to hear this. They need to hear this.
And then look, there's a thing called agenda setting. Agenda setting means the media is going to show you what they want to show you, because psychologically your mind is going to look at that and believe what you believe in your head and make something up in your head. They showed him being a shoplifter. All right. That right there is going to set your mind, because it's an agenda now. Exactly. Everybody, you've been to high school, you know what the fuck an agenda is. It's setting you up, your mind up, to organize all of that and prejudge him, to be like, yo, that shit, okay, that's what he get, or something like that. They do that a lot. Like with Obama, that stems from way back.
Bro, it started from Trayvon. You know what I'm saying? We can go back to Trayvon Martin. Same thing, bro.
I'm a man with dreadlocks, locks. If you see me, you're gonna think I'm a criminal based on the agenda setting they set on that. You know what I'm saying? So it's sad that all these years, man, and it's not like we talked about Malcolm X's birthday. He talked about all of this, that we not gonna be free unless we go and start our own, because we will never be accepted to the white man. No, you can't be you a black man over here running, and no disrespect, so I got white friends. Shout out to Phil, Rob. Right. I know he watching it. My man supports me all the time. Comments all the time. Family. The Goldens, I love y'all to death. Miss Golden, Mr. Golden, Liz, all of y'all. Like, love y'all, man. Colleen, all of y'all. I don't want to forget everybody. That's family for life. Love you, boy. That boy definitely watching. So
he definitely gonna watch.
That's my guy. Always sends a comment. You know, family. Hey, that's a family right there. Yes, steak dinners before games.
Exactly.
I'm just saying this to say, they all good.
It's not all of it. It's
not all white people.
Every race will have their 10%, bro.
Exactly. And that's the thing, bro. This whole race thing, it's easier to conquer when you divide. If you divide, it's easier to conquer. If somebody, let's say if like somebody from a different race does something to you, like a Arab or something like that, Arab, and it's easy for me to control your mind. Like, see, he did that to you. Kill all of them. You know what I'm saying? I'm using that for example.
A lot of thing is as well. I feel like our president has. I'm not even gonna say his name because he don't even deserve that respect. Our president has, kind of tried to divide us over. Definitely divided us over the last 4 years, bro. Yeah. Our country was broken. Our country was broken in a way I feel like I've never even lived to see before.
Yeah.
And a lot of people got really bold these last few years, bro. With coming out with the racism of Marx and all this other stuff, bro. People have gotten really bold.
I'm telling you, even like, all right. As you know, everybody play Call of Duty here and there.
Oh, those chats are ridiculous. That's been going on since middle school.
Yeah,
like, they've been on that since middle school.
Yeah. They say that shit on the mic.
That's not for the weak of heart. Those Call of Duty's lobbies are not for the weak of heart.
They trying to get that out of you, and it's just crazy because certain people it's just the way they act, man. Like, white people just right now, Trump really got them feeling like they could do and say anything. Like, okay, when Obama was there, we had our years. Now it's their turn to get somebody for them.
I just wish, bro. I just wish, people could just come to accept everybody for who they are, bro. And things would be so much better, bro. Like, our country would be so much better. But the thing is, another thing, slavery was never really done. They just found a way to make it different because systematic racism, bro. As far as the way our justice system moves, bro, it's just sad because we never really get a fair shot. We never really get a fair shot, bro.
Not at all, bro. Not at all. It's
and for the people who love to argue, it's not an argument because you can't. You can't
just
argue
say
that.
look at the jails and what's the population of the jails? Either Spanish or black people. That's the majority.
Our convictions are way higher, and that's even if we make it because. There's still a lot of killings. Like, a lot of us don't even make it to see our process, bro.
No, it's hard. And then it's like, especially when you got majority of the black people like in the hoods in the street, like to have that street mentality. It's like growing up in the hood and stuff, and you seeing cops that are white locking people up that you probably know that are good people, but to the system they're considered bad. You grow up to hate the system, and it's like people like, okay, like the difference between living in the hood and the suburbs. In the hood, it's like you're kind of like looked down not to make it. Like you always systematically looking at, yo, like I don't care.
That's a tall hill to climb.
You know what I'm saying? Rules don't matter to you because you already set up not to make it and to fail. You got different locations like Cali, different places gang banging and things like that. The gang culture, that's what they know. You got people right here, man, that were giving you $100 as an 8 years old. Like you getting money at a certain age, right? But then you see your mother on public housing and stuff like that. So you got to do what you got to do. You go rock.
A lot of people do.
You know what I'm saying? Your father locked up. Your father may not be in your life. He not have a male influence. So you go do what you got to do.
That sets people up.
The hood is your father at the time.
You learn
so
from the street,
it's like that shit's been going on since the Black Panther times. Because we talking about Malcolm X Day. That stems from the Black Panthers, from how they broke them down. Huey Newton and all that, put drugs in the neighborhood. I ain't trying to be no politician or no preacher or nothing like that. But that's just really what happened. You know what I'm saying?
And I feel like that just goes back to us as black people. We have to heal our communities, bro. We have to, and the one thing that I feel like we don't do as a black community, we don't uplift each other enough, bro, at all. Like, we don't uplift each other. I feel like most of the time we end up fighting clashing against each other,
hating off another man.
But when you see other cultures and stuff, they get together and they build each other up. And I know,
it's crazy.
And the thing is, black, we could be so great, bro. We have so much talent. We have so much creativity. We have so much to give, bro. And even then, people still try to steal our culture, bro.
Real shit.
So just imagine if we really came together and just really took each other to the next level. That's all it takes, bro. And that just starts with our generation, bro. Like we can be the ones to shift that culture.
Really.
It takes everybody, but that's really what it would take for us to really set ourselves up for greatness, bro.
The main thing too, bro, like it's like this. You talking about this kid getting killed by white people. The same energy we put on that, we gotta put on black.
Yeah, exactly.
Like we
do it to ourselves too.
It's
but that's
crazy.
And that's a lot of reason why they might look at us like that, bro. Because they're gonna say, "Oh, well, they do it to themselves."
But exactly.
So how do we look?
We eliminating ourselves. We got the police trying to eliminate us, and we got white people trying to eliminate us. And then we going to jail. It's like, my nigga, like we the ones that
something gotta change.
We're in the maze. It's a rat race.
Something gotta change.
You know what I'm saying? And it's like back to what you saying with the people uplifting. Like I sense that too. Like at the time I used to not want to uplift people, but like as I got older, I looked at certain things as ignorance. I like to uplift people. Like, oh, I see you, bro. I seen where you was from the bottom.
Exactly.
I see you up right now. I seen, what you had to go through. That's what's up. Some people be like, you dick riding, or you doing this and that.
I don't get that, bro.
It's like,
I don't get that.
What is that? Like,
I don't get that.
Why are you... The fact that
especially if that's your man. Especially if that's your man.
You know what I'm saying?
That makes no sense.
The fact that I could see people hate off other people is crazy.
And what I don't understand about that is that person probably went through something that would have broke you, but you're gonna sit there and hate on that man for making something out of that, bro.
Exactly.
And there's a lot of things that you just don't know what people are going through behind closed doors, bro.
You don't. Like, shit could look beautiful. Like, they get the house, all that. Like, people get it messed up, especially where we live in North Virginia. Like, houses look pretty and this and that, but you don't know what's going on in them houses. That shit could be a whole...
It could be a hell. People could be living behind that hell behind that.
You got people doing hella pills and lean and shit like that. Some people doing it just to follow the trend, but there's some people that have losses.
Lost, bro.
A family member, a father, somebody. And it's like,
something little like that could just send you.
It can send you anywhere. I know somebody around our area.
People handle things differently, bro. Some people look to different things.
That shit is bad out here, man. Like, I know somebody that we went to school with that lost their father, and like now everything is like a whirlwind for them. They like this.
That's a tragic. And I feel like another thing we don't really acknowledge as our community is just looking into therapy, bro. Because as far as sometimes in life you go through things, and going to therapy is not a bad thing. Like,
it's not.
It can really help you.
It's not.
But instead of turning to other things,
see, the problem with therapy is definitely positive.
I feel like it could have its downsides too, though.
The thing is, so for some people, is if you go to therapy and you see an old white man,
they just can't
trying
relate.
to talk about what you go through, they're not gonna relate to that. They've never heard gunshots. It's like certain things that's traumatic to black people, like young black men especially, even women, because black women gotta go through it.
Black women go through a lot too.
All types of, it be a lot of pedophiles.
Black women go through
like,
a lot.
Dudes be going smack at females. Like, as a female, and I got sisters, so it's like, yo, we both got sisters, so we both know. It's like, you know what I'm saying? Like,
you look at things a lot different.
You see things a lot different when you got sisters. It's like, damn, like, my sister always gotta go out and deal with a man trying to go smack and shit like that. It's just like, that shit. And then as a brother, you always gonna be a protector, no matter. Because I got 2 older sisters, you got 2 younger sisters. Regardless, it's still the same.
Yeah, I'm about to say, regardless.
The protection. Like, I ain't gonna put it on camera, but I do some things to somebody that messes with my sister.
I was about to say,
you know what I'm saying? I ain't gonna put it on camera. So it's like, the fact of that matter, it's like, you look at things different. So just to say that both black female, black woman, not even black, Spanish, all that, they gotta go through it.
Yeah, women as a whole.
Gotta go through it.
They definitely have their fair share of trials, bro.
Tribulation, all of that. Like, even black women being educated, women in general, man, because, you know, what, 20, 30 years ago, it was like a woman was a housewife.
I was gonna say, and look what they've done with that. They turn themselves into
career women and stuff like that. You know what I'm saying?
I've always believed that women deserve the same equality.
That's a fact. That's a fact.
But sometimes, I don't know how and why, the world just doesn't want to see it that way.
They don't. Look at Hillary Clinton. But at the same time, look, no disrespect to y'all women. Hillary Clinton, if she was president, I don't know.
The one thing about Hillary is she can play the game. I'll say, like, she has that grit in her to do it. So it was like I wasn't really worried. It's just more so there's a lot of other things.
The thing about the politics, that the thing about them, even both Democrat, Republican, they like to tell you things so it could, you know, jazz you up a little bit. But they not gonna do it.
Everybody has their little agenda.
You know the number one thing right now? Everybody's talking about something. If I'm president, I'll legalize marijuana. That's the first thing they say now.
That's what everybody wants to know.
Speaking of marijuana, for all my Virginians and all that, July 1st,
I heard about that. Yeah.
We will be decriminalized. So if you have under an ounce of weed, you just get a $25 ticket. You won't get locked up. You won't get nothing on your bracket. Shout out to my nigga DJ JJ took it off. But yo, if you have under an ounce, you don't get locked up. So remember that July 1st, that shit will be signed and it'll be passed. So you can smoke, do all that. You got $25? Fuck it.
Especially around here, bro. They were locking people up for an eighth or dub.
A blunt.
Bruh.
Me and my mans got handcuffed and all that for a blunt. And my mans had to take the charge and had to do a whole year probation and had to do like 70 hours of community service or something like that. So
just
for a 0.7 at the most.
I don't know. It's never made sense. It never made sense to me, bro.
A 0.7. So it's one of them things that's real funny, real delusional, real wild, man. But at these tough times, the coronavirus, man, it's just, I feel like we got so much time.
Yeah.
And we got a lot of time on our hands. And it's like, it's your choice. What you gonna do with that time? You see, we work out, we do shit like that. You know, training and shit like that. Keep your mind sharp. Read a book. You know, what I like to say, you know, a blunt a day keeps the crazy thoughts away. Or a book a day keeps the crazy thoughts. Yeah. Make sure you have something to keep your mental right.
Definitely. Especially in this time, you just gotta find whatever works. You know, some people, even, and I hear the thing, even if you spend whole quarantine just relaxing and just taking this time, that's fine. But just make sure, keep your mental right.
Keep your mental right.
Because it's so important these days.
Break down right now, man.
And everybody's locked in the house, everybody's going crazy. Like, just make sure you're doing whatever you need to do. Keep your mind right. Stay healthy. take care of yourself.
Really. And I also want to say, like, for those kids who got to go home with abusive parents, I feel for them. Because they home.
Bro, they said a lot of the divorce rate has gone skyrocketing,
bro. Yeah.
It's just a lot of those internal issues, bro.
Time.
Bro, the coronavirus, that's what I'm saying. It just slowed everybody down, bro.
People getting evicted. They not getting evicted, but like they rent is piled up. You know what I'm saying? And then it's like certain people not having bread right now. You can't get unemployment. There's so much that's going on with this virus. A lot of people are going through it. They going through it right now. Like this is kind of like the Great Depression right now.
And we might get that right after.
You know what I'm saying?
After all this clears, who knows what'll happen?
It's going crazy. People losing their jobs. People, they got mouths to feed. Single moms out here don't got nobody to hold them down right now, and they gotta do everything they can by themselves to find a way. So, if just know that right now, bro, like your best day could be somebody's worst, or your worst day could be somebody's best. My bad, said it wrong. But you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, it could always
be
worse.
It could always be worse. So make sure you value the things you got, the things that you know. That you got and things like that. Family, all that. Make sure y'all safe, because right now people are losing people. Look at calls Anthony Towns off his mother,
bro.
And that was his biggest support over this coronavirus,
bro. Crazy.
You know what I'm saying? And it's probably more like I know people like who's losing family members off of this. Like, make sure y'all be safe.
That's a whole different. Like that just puts you in a whole nother state.
Bro.
On top of everything that's happening, you lose a family member in this, and it's like, I can't even imagine that feeling, bro.
That shit right there.
Can't even imagine
that. Like, really different. So make sure y'all stay safe. Y'all do that. So I do want to touch on something else before we get out of here.
Right.
Plies made a comment.
Oh yes, he had a great video.
And
on Twitter,
you know, it talked about high school athletes.
Yeah.
And I'm gonna let you talk about it because I know for you it hit hard.
Bro, definitely.
It hit hard.
You know, he's just saying, you know, just telling the young boy, just feeding the youth, just great. I just love when Plies talks about football, bro. He keeps it real, bro, and he's just telling the young boys and the youth, you know, don't overlook those D2, D3 offers, bro. Because you know, at the end of the day, they're still setting you up to be great. Like he tried to say a kid was, you know, telling him D2 offered him a scholarship, but he didn't want to look at it. So he's like, so you're telling me that school is offering you, you know, 70. He said, let's just say $77,000. Yeah. He's like, that's the same price as a brand new Cadillac. And he's like, you're telling me you're not gonna value that? Like you're still gonna get your education. You're still gonna get
a Ferrari.
Everybody wants the D1 offer, the Lambo, the Ferrari, the equivalent. That's what he was, you know, equating it to. But it's like you get a brand new Cadillac decked out off the lot, and you're not gonna value that. So it's like, you know, especially like my thing was always, if you really bet on yourself and you know you like that. If you really know you like that, and you might not get that exposure out of high school. You know what happens to a lot of people. You go to your school, bro, and you make it known who you are, bro. And you know, I started off at a D2. I did what I had to do my true freshman year, and you know, it unfortunately it didn't work out at that school. I didn't stay there. I transferred to a D3. I bet on myself, and I broke records on records.
Now, before you say that, listen, I want everybody to listen to what you just said. You went to a D2. Didn't work out and you went to a D3.
Yeah,
a lot of people when they would do that will feel like their confidence goes down because they gotta do that.
I'll tell you, that was definitely a rough period in my life personally, just because, you know, everybody was looking at me crazy, like you're giving up a scholarship to go D3. And so I felt very alone at that time, but that fueled my grind, bro. And then I went there, and like I said, it was records on records. My name will never be forgotten there. All-American twice. Like, my blessings came down, but that's because I bet on myself. I believed myself, bro, and believed my grind was right behind my words. Like, I'm about to say, that summer, we was working. Like, it was no joke.
It
was no joke. So it's like
I said, Nate E, they was there.
I'm about to say, definitely, they was there. But you put
in that work.
You put somebody in the jungle, bro. You put me in the jungle, I'm coming out, bro.
Coming out.
Like, it don't matter where you put me. You can put me on the field with anybody, bro, and I'm coming out. Like, you gonna know.
That's that man.
So that's just I agree with him so much on that, and I'm just glad he put that out. And he's always preaching great stuff to them young boys, bro. So big ups to Plies, bro. I definitely mess with the message, bro.
That's real.
And that's definitely real. Because I just feel like these days, social media got these young boys just so up. I want that D1 offer so I can post it on Instagram, post it on Twitter. Oh, I have to see my offer. And but the reality is, you know, everybody don't get that D1 offer, bro.
They don't.
Everybody don't get that D1 offer, bro. And that's okay. But you can go. My coach always used to tell me, he's like, he put us all in the room at the beginning of the year. He said, I want everybody to write down your dream school. And so we wrote down our dream school, and he's like, now I want you to remember this and treat here like you're there. So he's like, you know, he's like, if your dream school is Alabama, make this your Alabama. Treat it as if you're in Alabama, bro.
And that's it.
And that's all. It's just mindset, bro. And it's like, you can't just give up on it. It's all about what you do with it, bro. It's what you do when you get there.
For real.
Because if you can play, they're going to find you.
They will find you, bro. The eye in the sky don't lie. And if
bro,
you
never.
perform
That
every
film
play,
not going to lie, bro.
if you give it your all, like...
That film not going to lie.
Even going to a school like Lincoln University in Pennsylvania, HBCU, and I seen the football program, man. It was talented, but the school didn't give a fuck about the football program. You know what I'm saying? And
it happened like that. Yeah.
I seen a lot of talented players out there, like a lot of talented players who, you know, stemmed off. You know, once the school don't give a fuck about you, that do affect you now.
Yeah,
it do
definitely because
it do
definitely
because it's just that type of shit where you working your best and then over time you might lose the passion for it. So I commend a lot of those men who stayed on that team. A lot of them football players who kept playing what they dreamed and didn't give up. Because to go through what you had to go through, that's when only the players who played there will understand. To play through that shit and keep that passion.
That's just love for the game.
That's love.
That's love.
That's that love for that shit. And I really give them a lot of credit for that. And a lot of different people at different schools who your program may not support you and stuff like that, man. Y'all keep grinding out.
Keep grinding,
From 4 o'clock workouts is different. Waking up every day early in the morning, watching practice. Like, if for all my high school football players who might watch this, really understand when it gets to college, it's a lifestyle.
You better love it.
All that fun high school. You getting the girls, you getting the clout, you getting the love. It's cool, but when you get to college, it's none of that. It's none of that. That's your life at that point. You break, like, you injuries, hurt, all that stuff, like, it's going to test your mental right there. And that's where we stem from. Even in the beginning of this episode, we talk about that Jordan mentality. You seen that dog mentality. And see, a lot of y'all blessed, though. The high school players that have a Jordan documentary like that in high school.
I wish, bro. I wish.
Yeah, boy.
Because it's like, that can just set you...
That can stem you from here to here. It's just the mentality. See the great Michael Jordan?
I didn't peep the jersey. I didn't peep the jersey. But definitely.
I'm telling you.
They definitely got it good with that. If I would have saw that in high school, bro,
that's easily to turn you up a notch.
But even now, I just feel like, I still feel like that just took... If you're an athlete watching that, you, like... That put your mental, like, you know what it takes now.
Yeah.
You're going to have to go through some things. But definitely, like, that message for them.
And then look, and this, I'm not just end it off like this because I know to this episode we talked a lot about men's stuff, sports, things like that. But listen, it takes a strong woman for an athlete, like, to really be him. Like, some of these men, like, you there, but they be having that girlfriend that do everything for them. That y'all gotta appreciate.
Always gotta have that queen that
hold it down. So it's like, always remember that, man. It's always that other half that really holds that person down. Even in life, not even just sports. In life, it'd be a lot of women that sacrifice a lot of their time and a lot of their energy, for their man. And sometimes we take it for granted until it's gone or until they stem to take that away. So make sure y'all honor y'all queens and appreciate all the queens that
Your
really
family
hold
is big
down for the
sacrifices
real
for you,
fam.
too.
Family too.
That's
Your
it.
mother is Mother's Day
Mothers,
just passed now. Your
fathers.
mothers, fathers,
Everybody.
whoever's in your life, uncles.
It takes a village, bro.
It takes a village,
takes a
yo.
village.
Your grandmother, it do, man. So just make sure y'all appreciate them, especially at this time of the coronavirus and everything, man.
Take the time to get closer to you.
Get closer to your family. Get closer with whoever you believe in, God, Buddha, Allah, whatever your religion is. Get closer to that, man.
I just feel like definitely this time has given people the time to really find themselves.
Word.
Because, you know, in life, before this, life was moving so fast. You know, everybody's stuck in their routine, bro. Like, but now it's just like the world comes to a halt. Like, you got to slow down. You see things differently. So it's like perspective on everything is changing. I know personally, I just feel like now I feel great, bro. Like, I feel like I've found myself. I feel like I know a lot more about myself.
And that's the time right here.
You know what I'm saying?
Think
all about what
the,
you do with it.
Think about the next 5 years, what you want to do. Use that time for that.
Plan
ahead.
Plan it now.
Because you got all the time you got.
Plan it now.
You got all the time.
Go get
whatever you really want to do, plan that shit, man.
Go get it.
Go get it, man. And that's all that's like we like to say for you. Just go get it. I don't think go get it.
And that's I also feel like, you know, people just, a lot of things would be, you know, when you do something in life and, you know, you might hit adversity or a hard time, it's so easy to quit, bro.
Word.
And you think about everybody who's really become great, or your idol, whoever your role model is, you know, I guarantee you they went through something, but it pushed them to keep going. And when you have, Nip always said perseverance, bro, that's what's going to push you to be great, bro. So
really
we're persevering through this now, and it's like, it's all about how you're using your time, how you're setting yourself up for after this. And, you know, I know this is a tough time for everybody, but it only makes you stronger. You're going to come out, you always come out the storm a different person, bro. Man. You come out that storm a different person.
That's it. It takes that hard will, like certain things, man. You gotta physically get broken down to really get that. Bro, you know what I'm saying?
You can't get it easy, bro.
You can't. Because you can lose. The way if you get it easy, you lose it easy.
Bro, exactly. You gotta go through something.
That's it.
You gotta go through something, because that's what changes you. That's what builds that character, bro.
That's a dog. That's what makes a dog, man.
For sure.
Hey, man. Well, y'all learned a lot from this episode. It's been a
great
very good episode, man. My man DMulah.
My God.
For
life.
My God.
For life.
Appreciate that, man.
Nice.
And make sure y'all stay safe. Thank y'all for tuning in. We'll be back with the next episode soon, man.
One thing. I just want to give a shout out to my man Miles. Apply Pressure hoodie, the hottest thing in Jersey right now. I'm copping more. You know, if you wanna get one, just hit me up or hit GoGo. We'll set it up. But definitely, I just want to give my man's his time. Apply Pressure. I appreciate you, brother. Yeah, but go. You can close it out,
man. Love is love to everybody. Hey, man, shit, shout out to everybody, squad, gang, everybody.
Yes,
y'all know who y'all are, the ones that I'm close to.
Exactly, you gotta say it.
I say their names all the time, man.
You gotta say it.
You know, so shout out to everybody. Y'all be safe. It's the Jungle Podcast. We out.
Yes, sir.